Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name's Easton Cook and I was in Thailand when an incident occurred on May 9th on Frontier Airlines. Now, full transparency, this is not the video I was going to do for my first video back in like a week and a half, but this footage from this event has been going viral for the past week, and so I'd like to talk about it while it is a topic of conversation. The video is concerning a woman in the exit row who reportedly said no to the exit row question before filming began. So in this video, we are going to review that viral video, and I'll offer up some explanations and a little bit of advice to hopefully clear things up. And as always, before we begin, y'all, make sure and subscribe and like the video. I greatly appreciate it. Now let's first talk about the rules. Before the boarding door can be closed on any flight, the exit rows must be assessed. This is standard procedure and it's an FAA regulation. Also, for your knowledge, the exit row is defined as any seat that can exit the aircraft without stepping into the aisle. So on every flight, before the boarding door can close, the flight attendant must go to the exit row and ensure every passenger knows that they're seated in the exit row. Then the flight attendant must ask the passengers if they are willing and able to assist with the operation of the exit in an emergency, should that become necessary. And the flight attendant needs a verbal confirmation. And once the flight attendant receives that verbal confirmation, they will then ask the passengers to review the passenger safety information card and ask any clarifying questions they may have. This happens thousands of times a day on thousands of flights. And I myself, as a flight attendant, in my 7 years of flying, in my numerous exit row briefings, I've only been told no to that question, I think once. And let me tell you what happens. When you say no to the exit row question, are you willing and able to assist? And you say no. No harm, no foul. It's actually all good. What happens is the flight attendant will then take you from the exit row and place you in another seat that's not an exit row. And if it's a full flight, a passenger will typically volunteer to switch their seat. A passenger who is willing and able to assist in the operation of that exit should it become necessary. So there's the background of the rules. It's a requirement. It's a requirement because if the flight attendant is killed or incapacitated during a crash landing, somebody has to be aware of where the exits are and how to operate them to get people off the plane. So there's the why behind the what. Now let's talk context of the video. Apparently, on this particular Frontier flight, the passenger in the exit row said, "I'm not going to save anybody. If something happens, I'm going to save myself," when asked if she was willing and able to assist. Now, this was apparently said before the filming began. Now, it's not clear where the escalation actually happens, but I think it's safe to assume that the passenger did not want to move seats when the flight attendant informed her that, hey, because you said no, you can't sit here. And hear this, we as flight attendants do not make the rules. But also, even if we did, we still wouldn't want anybody not willing and able to assist with the operation of the exit sitting in the exit rows. So there, the scene is set. Now, to cover all the bases in the video, you're gonna see that this unruly passenger later says that she did say that she would help with the exit. But even if that's the case, right, let's just say if you originally say no, or you joke about a no, and then you switch to a yes when responding to that question, it's at the flight attendant's discretion on whether or not to let you stay there. Now, after giving all that context, let's go ahead and watch a little bit of this footage.
You like you're an adult?
That's the thing. We already agreed.
Yeah, she talking to me. What is the problem? Because she don't want to tell us her name. Okay, well, you want to tell me to cut my music down so I can listen to it. Tell me that. A problem? What's the problem? We ain't got no problem with that. We understand we got to help people get off the plane and help Betty White if something happens. What's the problem? We agree. You wasting your breath. Is they gonna take this plane off the ground?
So up to this point, the flight attendant most likely asked her to change seats. The passenger denies the request. Now, whether you agree with that or not, keep in mind it is federal regulation that you comply with all crew instructions. If you decline an instruction by a crew member, the situation will escalate. And that's what we see here. The flight attendant has been calm and respectful, while the passenger is becoming more loud and irritable. Let's keep watching.
That lady came and asked us, we got witnesses, we all agreed. Didn't nobody tell?
Bring the flight attendant over
Yeah,
here.
because we all agreed, and everybody can witness that. And my grandson is getting off out of school, and his mama took a flight to Mexico, and I'm not getting off.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the couple passengers that we're asking to please be removed.
No, that is, no, my grandson is 4 years old, and he's getting out of school
It really was.
No, we all agree.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be underway here shortly. We got to take care of this issue here. Law enforcement will be arriving.
Really, your flight attendant
Disagree with her.
Accident, so
She is
sorry for the delay,
lying.
but please.
So now, the person whom I'm assuming is the gate agent comes on the plane. The exit row passenger clearly disrespects the gate agent who is just trying to do her job. The very same passenger who did not comply with the flight attendant's instructions, who, again, was trying to do her job. So the disrespect is just wild. Let's keep watching.
You're inconveniencing everybody.
My grandson is in Houston. He got to move at 8 o'clock.
Should have been applying the rules.
We applied to the rules.
Get off, get your bags, let's go.
We applied. I applied again. I am not ready to ruin. Everybody, can I disagree to her? Everybody heard me. We all agree. But I mean, I got a grandson that's sitting out of school at 4 o'clock. But my grandson.
You have to book another flight. You're not getting there regardless, and neither are we if you don't get off. So it's just right.
That's why we're canceling. I'm telling you, if you're not going to get there anyhow, you don't.
I am not doing this.
I'm asking you.
What crime did I commit?
Getting off the plane, either we're either all getting off with you or you're getting off by yourself.
All right, so as the argument continues, the captain now gets involved. Now let me just pause for a second and make this crystal clear. It's bad enough to not listen to the flight attendant. It's bad enough to disrespect the gate agent. But when the captain steps in and makes a request, you do it. There is no argument or settlement that you can make. In the end, the final say above everybody is the captain. So the best thing you can possibly do if you're in this deep for some reason that the captain has actually left the flight deck to talk to you directly is shut up and listen to instruction. That's some of the best airline advice I can give. But honestly, it shouldn't even get that far. I mean, you should have listened to the flight attendant's instruction first, and the only time you actually talk to the captain is when you say, hey, thanks for a great flight as you deplane. But believe me on this, I work in the industry. The captain has final authority. If for some reason you find yourself in an argument with him, it's an automatic loss. As it is when you disagree with the flight attendant or gate agent, it's just even more so with the captain. So, all of this to say, what happened? The captain asked her to leave. She said no for various reasons that you can see in the video. So, what now? Well, the cops were called. The cops were like, hey, you gotta go. And she still said no. So, what now? Well, let's watch and find out what happened.
You know what I'm talking about? We'd have paid enough to see that shit.
He's gonna fuck the whole flight up. Look at him. Keep a dumb ass off the flight. She got everybody off the flight because of her dumb ass. Rose got a little bit of bread.
Well, there you have it. They deplaned. So if she wasn't going to leave, that means that everyone else has to, while the authorities deal with the situation. Security did escort her off the plane, but only after she inconvenienced many people by delaying that flight and making everybody get off the plane. That was the outcome for not listening to simple instruction. So this takes me into my advice. 1. If you're seated in an exit row, you will be asked if you are willing and able to assist with the operation of the exit in an emergency. It is totally fine to say no. It is fully, as a matter of fact, not even. If you really wouldn't assist with the operation of the exit in an emergency, please say no. We would prefer you say no. The flight attendant will just reseat you. No harm, no foul. There's no issue with that. There seems to be this misunderstanding online. I saw this on Twitter. A lot of people are like, oh wow, so if you say no, you're escorted off the plane. No, that's not it at all. It was the attitude of this passenger that got her escorted off the plane. It was not complying with the instruction. But hey, if you for some reason do find yourself, for some wild reason, find yourself in a situation where there is escalating tension with the flight crew, do this. Take a breath. Put whatever you're wanting to the side and follow the instruction of the flight crew. Later, you can call the airline and you can air your grievance. You can tell your side of the story if you feel like you were truly wronged. Because honestly, chances are, if it escalated like that, the flight crew has already written a report to ensure that everything is well documented. And number 2, if you are not the one in the situation, right? You're just nearby. Let the flight crew handle it. They are trained to handle these types of events. Unless things get physical and you're like, oh my gosh, wait, if I don't step in, that flight attendant, that gate agent, they're gonna really get hurt. Unless that's the case, do not intervene. I understand you're trying to help, but you only make things more chaotic when you begin talking, because then you begin kind of shouting over the flight crew and trying to help them, and other people do it, and then just like in the video, it's chaos. So leave it to the flight crew. And number 3, if the captain says to do something, do it. The captain is given final authority. Do not think you can argue, debate, explain, talk your way out of it. Nothing. The captain's word is law, like it or not. And also, like I said earlier, don't let it get that far. Just do what the flight attendant says in the first place. They're genuinely there for your safety. And y'all, honestly, they desperately want a incident-free, smooth flight just like you do. Like it's like all we want. And that's all for today, y'all. Thanks for watching. Make sure and subscribe, like the video. You can also support this channel by using that thanks tab below. I have so many more videos in the works and I cannot wait to release them. This topic just took precedence because it's literally happening right now and I could not cover it. As always, you can follow me on the socials and shop my Amazon storefront, all in the link in the description below. Y'all, I will talk to y'all very soon. God be with you.